So anyway, here we are in Napier, and we're out and about today doing our first video of Napier, and I thought I might just introduce you to my wife. Here she is. This is my wife Kiwi. You will have seen her in a lot of my Bali videos, but she's a little camera shy, so it's taken quite a bit to persuade her to smile and say hello. So if you're wondering who the lady is, it's my wife of 28 years, Kiwi. Hi everybody, I'm Kiwi John. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that have just arrived, a big warm welcome, and I hope you enjoy these videos. To those that are subscribers, and welcome back. So this is the first of my videos in my hometown of Napier in New Zealand. So first of all, where is Napier, New Zealand? So here is the world map, and here's a map of New Zealand, and this is where Napier is in New Zealand. I am currently sitting in a little place called Clive Square. It's in the CBD. I don't know whether other countries call their central business district that name, or they use another name, but we use the CBD, and this is it. So this is a lovely little park. It's very, very picturesque, and it has a nice little fountain. Lots and lots of tourists come and sit in here, have picnics. We have a lot of close food eateries. Just behind me there is a deli roast. We've got KFC over in this direction, along with Burger King, and behind me again is McDonald's. Back down this direction, which is heading towards the beach, we've got quite a few eateries and that as well. So a lot of people will buy takeaways and come and sit down here and have a nice picnic, lunch. People that work in offices very often go and get their takeaway coffees and stuff, come and sit down here. It's just a beautiful area, especially on a beautiful day like today. It's a Sunday morning, about 10 o'clock, and it's about 19 degrees. There's just a slight breath of wind, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to give you just a little bit of history on Napier, and don't worry, I'm not going to bore you to tears with history. So as a city, this was established in 1851. It wasn't proclaimed as a city until 1950, and as of June of 2018, we currently have a population of 63,900 people. So as far as cities go, it's not a very big city, but it just has enough where it's a nice place to live. The name Napier comes from a British general called Sir Charles Napier. He was the commander-in-chief in India. So obviously they decided that he was worthy of naming a city after him. On the 3rd of February 1931, at 10:47 AM, we suffered a huge earthquake, 7.8 magnitude. 161 people were killed. The town was absolutely devastated, along with the rest of the region. Hastings, the neighbouring city, and the area of Hawke's Bay was absolutely devastated. So here are just a few photos just to show you the damage that was done. So after the 31 earthquake, Napier was rebuilt in the style of Art Deco, and there are still quite a number of buildings around town that bear the Art Deco signature, as it were, and we'll take you for a walk around and show you just a few of those. I don't want to show you the whole lot because I want people to come to Napier, and there are guided tours around the Art Deco area, and we also have an Art Deco festival in February every year, and there are thousands of people come from all over the world. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody, I just want to give you a quick look. So without further ado, we will go and have a look around Clive Square, and then we shall go and wander through town, and I'm going to head to my favourite cafe for a cup of coffee. So here we go, guys. Okay, so this is Clive Square. As you can see, the number of beautiful trees, you can hear the birds twittering away, beautiful lawns, well manicured gardens, lots of lights and things for night time. But it's just a very nice, peaceful place to come and have a cup of coffee, sit down and relax. So heading over to the central piece, and there is a lovely fountain, a few water lilies in it. Over there you will actually see a strange looking contraption. We might actually go a bit closer, with the bells on it, and they ring every hour on the hour. So it's a nice little area here with lots and lots of seats. As you can see, there's quite a few people here just sitting, relaxing, enjoying themselves. Lovely little fountain. There used to be a lot of fish in here, but it doesn't seem like there's terribly many at the moment. And we're just going to head off towards the main street, which is called Emerson Street. So here we go, there's a nice little sign to tell you all about it. During the 1860s and 1880s, the square was used as a sports ground or village green. In 1884, sports left the square and the gardens were formed after the 1931 earthquake. The square was used for a temporary shopping centre known as Tin Town. So across there we've got our war memorial, tribute to our fallen soldiers from various wars. And of course on an Anzac Day, 25th of April, there was always big parades here to commemorate those people. Looking down this way, if you need to, there are bathrooms just down this way, about 50 metres, just part of the bus shelter. So these are some of the buildings that I was talking to you about, Art Deco style. All the facades of the buildings. And by the looks of this, all these people with the neck tags on, we have a cruise ship in, which we have, I believe there's something like 70 cruise ships come in every year. Today is one of those days. Which it's really, really good for our city's economy, and we also get people to have a look around. That's not bad for 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Quite a few people. Plenty of cafes open. And here's a lovely little statue, bronze statue, put up about 4 or 5 years ago, I think, of a lady in Art Deco dress with her greyhound. And as you can see, she's waving, but she's waving too. This little guy up on the lamppost. Now we've got a tourist train coming past, which is quite cool. So obviously if you want a tour of the city, you can jump on this machine and they'll give you a commentary, give you a rundown and have a look. I think it's quite cool actually.
So if there is such a thing as a president from an airplane, was the uplifted the man?
So that's quite cool. Okay, so we are outside our Napier one and only mall. Yeah, I'll just show you. So right across the road is my favourite and my wife's favourite cafe. Now I just wanted to show you, you'll see these patches on the road. There it's got red brick on it. Okay. A lot of people are under the illusion that this is actually a pedestrian crossing. It's not. It's just a part of the road. However, if you stand on it, or go to walk on it, most drivers will give way to you as a pedestrian, but you can't guarantee it. So don't expect that people are going to stop for you. Okay, so here we are outside my favourite cafe, Cafe DMP, and we're about to go and get something to drink and a bite to eat, I think. Yeah. So this is a lovely little cafe. There's some great eats. Excuse me. So this is where the barista hangs out. Will you? Okay. Hi, how are you? Here's owner Renee. We haven't actually met before. I'm John.
I'm Shawnee.
Hi Shawnee, how are you?
Our best barista.
Our best barista. Oh well, that's a good. Don't repeat that. Okay, look at that. They look great.
It's a latte,
Wow.
flat white, made with love.
So I'm just going to sneak around the corner. Hi. Not going to get in anybody's way. Just thought we would have a quick look around, see behind the scenes, and I'm getting out of the way. So you can see they have a great selection of food. Look at this. Yeah. Pies, quiches, you name it. Beautiful sandwiches, salads, and of course they have the specials boards and menu, Hunger Buster, Eggs Benny, DMP Tower, Iron Divine, Bangers and Mash, you name it, they serve it, along with a huge range of coffees, teas, luxury hot chocolates, which I absolutely adore. Good morning, Miles.
Good morning. Welcome to Cafe DMP.
Miles is the owner along with his wife Renee, who we just met. So this morning I would like my usual of a regular mocha, please.
Sure.
And Kerry would like her usual of tea, which is, what brand is it?
English breakfast.
English breakfast. See, you even know, I can't remember. That's cool. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
There's more food going out. Look at this. place is so busy. Look at this.
Your mocha.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. And your tea.
Wonderful. And big smiles too. Okay, well, that's another wonderful visit to Cafe DMP, but now it's time to be moving on and do some more recording. So we're moving on from having had a cup of coffee, just heading up towards the beach area. Just give you a look down the street. If you need an ATM, there is a Westpac one right here, and Cafe DMP is only 50 yards down there, so on the same side of the street. There's one here, there's also one up there to the left outside the BNZ Bank, and there is bathrooms across there as well. So here we are at one of those crossways again. Now this kind gentleman has stopped for us. Thank you very much, sir. This little lane here is called Paxie's Lane. It's called Paxie's Lane because for years there was a cafe here in this exact spot, but it's been demolished. So it's now an access way through from Hastings Street, which is the one that runs down that way, up to our marine parade. Another little cafe there. Japanese design clothes and designer shop, and an Asian supermarket. Now this little area is a little bit strange. This is actually a pedestrian crossing, but there's no white lines. We're going into two-way traffic here, so you must be careful crossing the street. And here we go. And we're now on Napier's Marine Parade. So across the road here you will see 6 buildings, all almost identical in design. They're called the 6 Sisters. They're now all businesses, but they used to be private owned homes, and these date back to before the 1931 earthquake. They survived the earthquake, so they're historic buildings and part of Napier's landscape. So we might just move on a bit. Head down this way, down towards the beach. As you can see, it's beautiful, calm day. There will be loads of fishing boats out there, water skiers, You don't seem to see that much in the way of parasailing or jet skis. Some people own jet skis, but there's no rental company or anything up here. So these GoPros are not wonderful for long distance photos or videos for that matter, but way out there, that's on the southern edge of Hawke's Bay, that is called Cape Kidnappers, and you won't see it, but about where that boat is, way out there, there is Napier Peninsula. So the bay goes right round in an arc all the way from here, right round here, right round here, all the way out there. So this area is officially known as the Sunken Garden. It's quite lovely down here. More gardens and more lovely lawns, and this sculpture has been here for I don't know how many years, 30 years perhaps, something like that. Lovely little pagoda over there, you can just sit in the shade. Now here we go, it's telling us about the sculpture, and I've never seen this before because I've never taken that much interest. So it says there that the sculpture was created by Laurie Kurasek of the ILAM School of Fine Arts and University of Canterbury. He described it as a biomorphic form, floating like a giant water lily. The sculpture was chosen from entries in a public competition, was paid for by the generous gift from Sir Lewis and Lady Harris of Brooklyn Station in Hawke's Bay, and it was installed in 1969. So here is one of the tourist attractions, Par 2 mini golf on Napier's Marine Parade. So you can see it's basically a putting course all set up. Loads of people down there. Okay, so still on the same theme as Marine Parade. So just thought I would show you that there are also public bathrooms up here as well. So this place is a little noisy right now, lots of people around, lots of tourists around, but this is the Napier Eyesight Information Centre. So if you need to know anything about Napier, book tours, all that sort of stuff, and you can see they're all set up for the tourist ship. But this is the place to come, and this is on the Marine Parade as well, and it's right next to our area called the Sound Shell. So various times of the year there are concerts held here. They have a fireworks display on it over New Year's Eve. Quite a few concerts over the years. Good morning. Good morning. And that's down to Napier's Marine Parade again. and this is the sound show. So there's the stage and everything, and it's set up acoustically to throw the sound back out towards the people.
Is that restaurant there?
Now this little area here, it's called the Veronica Sun Bay. Now the Veronica was the first ship to arrive in Hawke's Bay to help out people after the 1931 earthquake. So they've named this in her honour. Now there's a little plaque up here, so I'll just take you over and let you know what's going on with that. So here we have the Veronica Sun Bay, originally erected in 1934 to commemorate the Hawke's Bay earthquake of 3rd of February 1931. This memorial was named in honour of the HMS Veronica and the outstanding service given by her officers and crew at the time of the disaster. Rebuilding of the Sun Bay was accomplished through the initiative and leadership of the Rotary Club of Napier and contributions from the citizens of Hawke's Bay and the Napier City Council. The plaque was unveiled at the dedication of the rebuilt memorial, which took place on the 60th anniversary of the earthquake, 3rd of February 1991. So I think that's a very fitting tribute. It's quite nice. So here we have an interesting little sundial. So there's not many of those left in the world. And I'm not even going to try and tell the time, but it works. Now this area here, this garden area, is one of my favourite places to go. We both like to ditch our jandals and just walk on the grass, and for a change there's no prickles, it's just nice grass and it's quite lovely. Across here we've got it's called the MTG, the Museum Theatre Gallery, so it does all sorts of things. There's a museum, there's an art gallery, and they have a theatre in there as well, obviously. This has only been around for about 2 or 3 years, I think, the rebuild. This building across here, this wooden building, used to be the old courthouse many years ago, but now I think it's home to Department of Conservation. Another government department looks after our forests and parks and all that sort of thing. Now this lovely little bronze statue is of a lady called Pania. So the story goes, Pania of the Reef. An old Maori legend tells of how Pania, lured by the siren voices of the sea people, swam out to meet them. When she endeavoured to return to her lover, she was transformed into the reef, which lies beyond the Napier breakwater. To perpetuate the legend, the 30,000 Club presented this statue to the city of Napier in 1954. And this is an absolute Napier icon. It is just beautiful. It's on every postcard that you will see of Hawke's Bay. It's beautiful. And right next to this is the equally beautiful Tom Parker fountain. Now this doesn't look that fantastic. Well, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't look that spectacular during the day. It's lovely. It's picturesque, it's beautiful, but this fountain comes into its own at night, and here I'm going to show you the footage of that at night now. Okay, so you can see what I mean. It really does come into its own at night. It's beautifully lit up, and it takes I think about 3-4 minutes for it to go through the whole process of all the different color range, but it's worth just sitting and watching for a minute or two. So anyway, I wanted to leave this video here. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I really have enjoyed making it. It should give you a little bit of an insight into Napier, and this is just the first of my series, so please subscribe and ring the little bell so that you get notified when my next video is launched. And I hope everybody's had a very, very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.